What is up, guys? Fonzarelli Fail-Handed here. A big hello goes out to all my fail-handed finessers. Today we have some very, very special footage from the Chuckster518, and he is in his Tier 7 KAGERO, Japanese destroyer. Now, before we get into this, if you would like me to put some of your footage on my channel, by all means, let me know. You can do that through Xbox Live. You can do that through the Bullby the Fail-Handed Facebook page, what have you. You can mention it in the stream, but just make sure that you get with me if we agree upon it and you don't see it in a week or two, because I kind of have a backlog and I don't want to forget anything because it is liable to happen. So anyway, moving on, make sure to check back Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern for the daily video. And also make sure to check by the stream Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern as well. If you'd like to join me on the stream, by all means, let me know. I'll fix you up with a date. I normally schedule 2 weeks, the week I'm in and the next week ahead. So, yeah, we can get some folks in here. I always like gaming with new people. Love gaming with the community. Really, really enjoy it. I've met a lot of new friends that way. So, yeah, if you guys are interested, by all means, let us know. And also, guys, I am going to have this gentleman's channel below in the description box. So make sure you go down there, click the link to his channel, and make sure to subscribe. Now, guys, I must apologize because I ended up trying to pull a few different of his videos, and all the ones I could find do have some game chat in them. I've turned the volume down very, very low. So unfortunately, for the most part, you're going to have to just kind of deal with it. I did tell this gentleman I was going to make sure to get him in sometime this week, and it is happening right now, gosh darn it. So, moving on, let's get right into the game here. First of all, if you'll notice the top of the leaderboard there, neither side has lost any ships, and this is something that's, you know, the game has been going on for a moment now, so it's kind of impressive that neither side has really gotten into a direct confrontation, because a lot of times, you know, even a minute and a half into the game, you'll already see a couple of ships out sometimes. And if you'll remember, the thing I was saying earlier in a few videos about, you know, exponential force, we don't necessarily have that going on yet. Now, we did just lose a team member, but that's fine. That's neither here nor there. Now, we are kind of sitting in a smoke cloud here, essentially just waiting on the map to develop. We've got some torp action here. It looks like toward 9 o'clock. We do kind of have to be cautious at the same time, because we don't want to go out there and catch torps meant for anybody else. And that's what the beginning of the game ends up boiling down to, folks. You're going to have a lot of DDs just firing random torps just to kind of throw it out there and see what happens. And you've seen me do that many, many times in my game. It is more or less SOP. And so you kind of have to, you know, keep your head on a swivel for these random things. And for heaven's sakes, be safe setting in a smoke cloud. Because you know what? Everybody and their mother wants to throw fish at a smoke cloud. And with good reason, because more often than not, folks are going to be posted up in said smoke cloud. Now, moving on, we are detected. We have a gentleman right here with some eyes on us. We did throw some fish at him. We're waiting on the guns to line up, and these are excellent guns. These are doubles. However, the turrets are a little bit slow. We did manage to receive some fire there, literally fire. We are currently on fire, as well as a little bit of module damage, but that's fine. We fixed it up there, and now we're going to go ahead and turn away, show them our stern, and that way when the incoming fire comes, it's going to miss. Managed to really pull an excellent shot on that gentleman and get him off the board. Huzzah! Us 1, them 0. We do still have a little bit of damage here, but you know what? We're not going to let it slow us down at all. Technically, it is slowing us down, but it's fine. We do have our damage control coming back up in 10 seconds, so we'll be okay. We're undetected, so it's not really that big of an issue at this point. It would be a different issue if we are actively taking rounds. Now, granted, of course, we are detected, but that's neither here nor there. The damage itself is going to be fixed, and what we're doing right here is very, very wise. We're not actually using our damage control module or our damage party simply for the fact that, you know, it was already going to be fixed anyway. So you don't necessarily want to do that simply for the fact that if you take more damage, you won't be able to fix it. Battleship guys know what I'm talking about because they get lit on fire all the time. Moving on. Taking some rounds here. We're going to go ahead and get Oscar Mike, show him our tail. And from this direction, guys, you can really end up dodging a lot of the rounds. You just kind of have to keep your head on a swivel and not necessarily commit too much to either side. And that way you can kind of get that wiggle going on. You see a lot of DDs. However, we did manage to connect with another ship here. So that is putting an end to any wiggling finessery we had going on. But you know what? It's not a big deal. It happens to all of us. You've seen me crashing the islands about every single game. So we're going to crash into something there. It's not a big deal. Managed to kill that gentleman. Great, great. I mean, that's fantastic. And it looks like we actually crashed into a sinking ship. Looks like fire ended up getting rid of that gentleman. We're doing very, very well here. We were up to 13K. As far as the teams go, we're down 4. The enemy's down 3. So it's not necessarily getting to the point of no return, but it's definitely heading that way. So we need to really get out there and make the magic happen. Hold some things down. If we can manage to get in there on the opposite end of some of these ships, and as well as the torps possibly engaged in a little bit of gun work, what happens is the battleships, what have you, the heavier cruisers, get their guns lined up to shoot at a given target. If you can get up on the other side and around some cover, you can end up laying some fire down on, you know, those particular individuals, and then they would have to turn their guns around, and by the time they turn their guns around, you duck behind the island. This is a common, extremely useful tactic, and it infuriates whomever it is being used on. Kind of like if you're in Atlanta and you're single firing, you're doing rolling fire on every single round, and it just constant fire rain on them. And if you can get inside the enemy's head, all the better for it, because you know somebody who is kind of knocked off balance tends to make mistakes, just like in real life. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We're through the scope right now, through the torp scope, and we're just waiting to see if we can see anything kind of float across our crosshairs, because we're just waiting, begging for the moment to kind of lay some hatred down. And what we're doing here is we're bracketing this island. That way if anybody comes out either side of the island, they're going to have to contend with our hatred. And let me tell you something, those fish do around 20k a piece before damage reduction. So they really end up making it happen. It looks like this gentleman is pushing here, and we're keeping the scope up just to kind of see where he's going. It is definitely looking like he's going to have some fish for dinner here. It looks like he's going to take 2, possibly even 3 fish in the side. And kablamo! Excellent shot here. That gentleman will be resting at the bottom of the channel very, very soon. We bracketed him perfectly. Either way he was going around that island, even if he turned around, he was going to take fish, unless he just kind of poked around the edge there. And then, you know, he could have minimized the damage there so far. Up to 37,000 damage. We're out here. We're doing things. We're making it happen. And we're being a valuable asset to the team. Bad news, though, at the top of the screen there. We have lost some more ships. And the bad guys tend to have it looks like a two-ship lead on us. So that is not a good look for us. But once again, at this point, we are not at the point of no return. We can still come out here. We can still make the magic happen. We can still pull this game out. Now, you see what this gentleman's doing right here. He is staggering his torps, and that is a very, very smart decision. Granted, you don't have the large scale that you normally do when you're firing 2 spreads side by side, but he's firing one and then the other, and this also staggers the reloads as well, simply because you're going to have more torps come up faster, and you don't necessarily have to wait. Boom! Right in the side there. Perfect shot. That gentleman's destroyed. We are on a rampage. Excellent, excellent game so far. 40k plus damage. We're really going out here and making it happen, and we can still manage to save the game. We just have to push and want it more than they do. Now, moving on, we're going to go ahead and go out here and see if we can't line up some more torp shots. This gentleman just put up a plane, and we're inside the danger zone here, and we're also close to land. None of this is a good look for us at all. We're throwing the rudder over hard right. We're going all ahead full, and we're trying to get out of here. It looks like we're taking multiple fire from a few different angles, and we're doing the wiggle thing here. We're going hard left, hard right, hard left, hard right, and that's kind of doing the serpentine version of the shuffle. You can kind of get out of danger there, and we didn't have to pop our smoke. And when you're not hard detected in those given situations where you have it within your power to get out of that situation very, very easily, I would err on the side of not using the smoke, if you kind of catch my drift there. Okay, so back at the top of the board there, it looks like we're the ones out here making it happen now. It looks like we are up one versus them. So we can still go out here and we can make this game happen. And it looks like, unless things go horribly, horribly wrong, it's going to be a big W for us and an L for them. Now, we do have a gentleman here at our 12 o'clock. It looks like he's around an island. We need to kind of get in range to where we can cut around, get some shots on him possibly, and take cover. Or we can kind of go all out and just straight commit and launch some torps at him. It's going to be interesting to see which one this gentleman decides to do. More often or not, though, it seems like the time you sail all the way around the corner in the DD, by the time you get there, he gets annihilated by a battleship. It would not surprise me in the least. But you know what? It's a part of the game, and you kind of have to respect it. Moving on here, we're going to go ahead and activate our speed boost, because this is kind of a point in the game where we really need to make some things happen, and we are moving into this zone to try to capture this area. We still have that gentleman to our 6 o'clock. We still need to worry about him, contend with him, possibly put some rounds or some fish down in his location, but at the same time we do have the safety of smoke. So we also really don't want to depend on smoke too much, because if you heard me earlier, I was referring to a lot of folks launching torpedoes into the smoke, blind firing into the smoke. Late game, this is kind of a big issue, and we're not necessarily full health anymore. We're less than half, so a good volley will send us to the bottom of the channel. So we did the right thing. We laid the smoke. We got the heck out of there, left that guy right there wondering, and we're moving on. And that is the right thing to do in that case, because you don't want to loiter, because you know what? If you fire and that gentleman traces your rounds back in the smoke and blind fires, there is a high percentage with our given health that we will be killed immediately. So we really kind of got to keep our head on a swivel. Now, we were just detected by a plane while we are actively stalking our prey. This is not a good look for us. We're going to kind of start to turn here, and as you can see, he is not worried about us at all. He already fired on his target. He is not concerned with the KAGERO in the back corner here. However, this gentleman is very concerned. We have multiple things damaged here. We launched those torps, and man, he really ended up taking it. We just managed to get lucky there. We are on a hope and a prayer. Wow, we are low health, and that's fine. The downside, however, is we are detected. We need to be Oscar Mike super fast, because this guy is going to lay the hurt down on us if we continue to be detected long enough to be shot at. Now, there's only 2 guys left on the team, so you think we could possibly wrap this up very quickly. 62,000 damage, 62,676. We're really going out here and making this happen, folks. We've got kill on top of kill on top of kill, and I think we can just keep pushing all the way. Excellent game. Really is. I mean, excellent ship handling, torping, everything. There's obviously really just going out here and making it happen. Okay, folks, so just a reminder before the game ends, everybody make sure to go down into the description box and hit the link to this gentleman's channel. Go to his channel and hit subscribe, and then hit notification button. That way when he releases another video, you'll know it's there. And then maybe that'll be one of the videos I'll snatch out, put on my channel. Who knows? Either way, you got to make sure you see some more videos of this gentleman. And also check out Degeneration. I think I said that right. He is also in my description box. Check it out below. And check out my main man, Kauznutz, as well. He's down there. And check out Spartan Elite. Anything I have in my description box you need in your life. 75,000 damage, 929. Thanks for watching, folks.